What's up, everybody? We are live. We have a good card this Saturday night. We got a couple of fights fall through. We have a couple of new fights added. Yeah, good card. UFC Vegas 7. We have Pedro Munhoz versus Frankie Edgar. Edgar is dropping 135 for the first time, I believe. Joining me is my co-host, Kelvin. Kelvin, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I'm excited. It's a good card. It's a shame about some of the fights that fell through. Like, we were supposed to get the UFC debuts of Jared Night Train Gooden, Impa Kasanganai, and our boy Phil Rowe as well. And all three of those guys fell through, which really sucks. The card would have been insane if all those guys were on there. But you know what, man? Like, I just finished taping this card, and even the low level fights I think are going to be like really exciting. So I think this is going to be one of those cards that fly under the radar, but is super entertaining from a fan perspective.
Yeah, man. So we'll do a recap real quick on last card. It was a good night for both of us, I believe. Yeah, so the main event, we had Stipe versus DC. Good fight. You know, a lot of people thought that Stipe, dominated him. I agree. I mean, DC maybe won, two rounds at best, but I do think that Stipe dominated the fight, and he deserved the win. DC was pretty hurt, man, early on. He dug deep. He showed a lot of heart, but he was mad about the eye poke, and I think DC thought he won the fight. I mean, I don't know what he was watching, but yeah, Stipe, a good fight for him, a good win. Yeah, co-main event, Cheeto versus Sean O'Malley. I don't agree with all the people out there calling it a fluke. I really don't. I mean, Cheeto's the reason why O'Malley got hurt. O'Malley needs to drink some milk. The dude just has, I don't know, man. It's not a lot of calcium. Congrats to Cheeto. That was my first play of the night. Yeah, good night for me for betting. I mean, I snapped like a 5-card losing streak maybe, but yeah, plus 8.10 on the night. So yeah, thanks Cheeto on that, and that was a good win for Cheeto, and it was a good win, man. Cheeto's a dog. Next fight, Rosenstruck versus JDS. I mean, what much to say? Quick KO. JDS, he needs to retire. Next fight, Daniel Pineda versus Herbert Burns. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it like before, like we even taped the fight. I did think that Pineda maybe had a good chance, but then I went back to Herbert Burns. Yeah, congrats, Pineda. That was a domination. Next fight, Murad versus John Dodson. Domination. I mean, what else do you have to say? Pichel versus Miller. Close fight. I mean, it was a good fight, back and forth fight. Pichel dug deep, and Pichel showed that he has a good ground game. You know, just because Gregor tapped him out, I thought Miller was going to be able to do the same thing maybe, but Pichel looked good, man. I mean, Pichel deserves a step up next fight. Like, maybe he should fight like.
It has to be a top 20 guy. I mean, he's what, 37 years old?
I was gonna say versus like Nasrat, but I don't know. Nasrat's not really a top 20 guy, but I mean, he maybe.
That's not a bad idea. I like that fight. I mean, maybe Dober doesn't have a fight, does he?
I don't think they should make that. Dober should be fighting like Iaquinta or something like that. Someone that's ranked.
Oh yeah,
that's yeah. Between me and you, yeah, it's gonna storm through these next fights. Genero versus Herrick. What much to say? Domination. Next fight. Chavez versus Brown. That was my other cash. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a fade on Brown. I just did not see that much potential in Brown. I thought he was a fade. I mean, a lot of people were giving me shit because I only watched one fight on Chavez, but I thought that was enough, man, to beat Brown. I don't think Brown's UFC material, and I think that we saw with this fight, he's not good, dude, at all. He's a jobber. He's at the bottom of the division, and if he fights again, he's getting faded, man. Next fight, Souza versus Yoder. Dog shit performance from the winner. Dog shit. I think that performance from the winner, in my opinion, showed that she's a fucking fade. I don't think Sousa's good. I don't. I thought that she had potential, but oh my gosh, she looked terrible. I mean, I think she's fighting some Japanese girl. I saw it today. I gotta look up that girl because, in my opinion, people might disagree with this. Sousa's dog shit. 2 fights left. Speaking of dog shit, we had Parker Porter versus Dawkins. I wish I would have bet on the cop. That was easy money, man. We were talking about all week. I wish I wish to other people so much, and oh man, it sucks. And a lot of people have been actually telling me to stay away from one of my bets that I already made for this card, and I didn't listen to them. So hopefully it pays out. But that's one thing I got to work on because everyone was telling me to stay away from that, and I thought it was easy money, and it was. So pisses me off. Last fight, Kai Kumaka versus Kelly. Yeah, good fight. It was a back and forth fight. Kamaka got the job done, but I mean, both of them look good. So yeah, your turn to start down to break down the card.
Yeah, man. The main event, such a fucking good fight, man. I was able to cash on Stipe there. I got him at plus 100 odds. I think I took him either the night before fight day or early morning on fight day. I was pretty patient on that. It was like minus 105, minus 110 all week. I even thought about betting the KO prop because, the way I'm thinking, okay, he's not going to submit DC, and there's no way this fight goes 5 rounds. And really glad I didn't go that way. It went 5 rounds. Great performance from both guys, man. I mean, DC certainly didn't look like a guy that was about to retire. Like Justin said, he dug deep after he got hurt bad. Stipe just showed he's the better fighter with, a lot more left to give. So congrats to him. Appreciate him cashing for me. And then the next one, man, I give you a lot of props on Chito Vera. I wouldn't call it a fluke. Like when I originally saw it live, I'm like, oh, great. He fucking injured himself again and he's going to lose because of it. But like Chito did that damage to him, so props to him. And he was able to capitalize too, a lot better than Andre Sukumtoth attempted to capitalize on O'Malley being injured. So, props to you on that one, man. And then Rosenstrike, I had 2 units on Rosenstrike at minus 125, and I also had 1 unit on the KO prop at plus 115. I just knew that Junior, he wouldn't be able to take the damage, man. And, I didn't like how he fought against Curtis Blades either. That was like his worst striking performance in a long time. Like some of his shots that he was throwing, it just looked really fucking ugly. I don't know if that was just because he was so worried about the wrestling or what, but not a good look. But I'm not going to lie, guys. I was kind of sweating because in that first round, I thought JDS looked pretty good. And then as soon as Jairzinho decided to turn it up, the pressure, the power is way too much. It's tough for Junior Dos Santos, man, because he's like skill for skill wise, like easily one of the best fighters in the division. It's just he's not able to take these guys' shots anymore. So I don't really know where he goes from here. It's not a good look to have that many knockout losses. Maybe a rematch with Overeem on the horizon. That'd be an all right fight. But yeah, appreciate Rosenstrike doing that for me. The Pineda fight, yeah, props to anyone that bet Pineda, dude. That was a bad fucking ass performance. I think the guy still, he's still got a little bit of that juice left in him. He looked real fucking, powerful and strong in there. And he beat the shit out of Herbert Burns. That was a great performance. Glad we passed on that for sure. Because, I was thinking about parlaying up Herbert Burns. I'm thinking there's no fucking way Pineda doesn't get subbed by him. And he didn't. So props to him. Marab versus Dodson. Holy shit, dude. How good is John Dodson's takedown defense and get-up game? Like, it's ridiculous, man. I think he's stuffed something like 19 out of 21 takedown attempts or something like that. And even the 2 Marab was actually credited for, Dodson was able to get right back up by right away. And you know what, Marab, he didn't even need the takedowns, man. Like, just his pressure activity alone, like, he just frustrated Dodson. And Marab is a fucking problem for anybody in the division just to shut down Dodson like that. Easy, 30-27s across the board. Marab is, he's a special kind of talent for sure. Vince Pichel getting the biggest win of his career. That was, that was a good one. Kind of what we expected, man. Like, I'm pretty sure I even said on the podcast, if it hits round 2, live bet Vince Pichel all day long. Unfortunately, I waited till in between rounds 2 and 3. I live bet Vince Pichel. I think it was like minus 200, but I just knew after the way that second round went, Jim Miller wasn't going to win the third round, even though it was kind of sweaty there for a sec. I think he did get on top there in the third round, but yeah, man, Vince is a badass. He's a fucking unit at 155 too. Very, very big, strong guy. Verna Jani Droba showed that her jiu-jitsu is easily some of the best in the division. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Felice Herrig has ever been subbed before. I'm pretty sure she's never even been finished in MMA. So, I mean, the fact that she was able to come out there, get a takedown, easy sub, like, yeah, I bet there's going to be a lot of girls turning down Vina Jani Droba.
Hey, she's been tapped out once on.
Tough against Randa Marcos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pro-wise, yeah. That was the first time she's been stopped. So, props to her. Props to you on this next one, man. Danny Chavez, you beat the line too, big time. You got like plus 150. So, nice cash there. And like I said it, man. Like I get it. I got why you faded TJ Brown because like I don't know. He's reckless in there. Like, you can see he has the raw potential. He just doesn't live up to it. Like, I mean, the guy is what, 14-8 now, which is like, that's not a good record for MMA, man, which is crazy. Cause like, if you watch one of this guy's wins, you're like, holy shit, this guy, you know, he's a phenom. He's a problem. But like, I don't know. He's chinny. It's just a bad look. And he didn't even really use his, you know, he tried to use his wrestling, obviously, but like, I thought he was going to get more takedowns than that. Like, you look at the Jordan Griffin fight where he took him down, what was it, like 12 times, got like 65 points on DraftKings and a loss. And Danny Chavez, I guess it's just credit to him, man. His takedown defense was really fucking good. He's a good striker too. Can't wait to see him again. You're totally right about Livia Souza, dude. That was an awful performance. Like, I don't even want to talk about that fight. Moving on. Chris Dawkins, I was right in the same boat as you, bro. We both picked him with confidence on the podcast, and neither of us took that dog money. Especially early in the week too. Like, when I taped it, he was like plus 135. I'm like, yeah, this guy is plus 135 and he should win this fucking fight, man. And we just kind of passed just because of how low level a fight it was. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes if you see value, you just got to take it. Even if it was like a 1 unit shot, like, I don't know, man. Definitely something to think about going forward. And then Kai Kamaka, he was a cash for me. I had 2 units on him at minus 185. That was a really good fight for both guys. Like, I love that fight, man. I'm glad that it got fight of the night. Kamaka's boxing looked really, really fucking sharp, man. He's only 25. He gets better every time. Tony Kelly, he started off looking, you know, he looked pretty good, but he just slowed down like 1 minute into the fight. And it wasn't until like halfway through the second round where he got like a second win. It was kind of as soon as Kamaka started to slow down a little bit. Kelly found real success with the tie clinch, and Kamaka he could not get out of there, dude. Tony Kelly, you know, he's a tough guy. He's got talent for sure. I think he'll be back. I think he'll win a UFC fight or two. And then Kai Kamaka, I can't wait to see how this guy progresses. I hope they don't shoot him up, you know, too fast. I want to see this guy get a couple more wins first. Kind of give him the Yusuf Zalal build where you're just giving him, you know, kind of not low level, but, you know, bottom of the division kind of guys every time. So yeah, I'm super high on Kai Kamaka. Great card.
Yeah, man, it's a good card, but I mean, just, you know, a couple fights just got added. I mean, one of them, there's a couple fights I did not tape for, so one of them we'll talk about right now. So first fight of the night, we got Timur Valiev versus Mark Striegel. Yeah, I didn't tape this fight, man. I mean, I just taped Timur versus Jamal Emmers, you know, pretty recently. The Striegel guy, I mean, I don't know, man, what to say about him. I mean, the line is kind of crazy, but I got to go with Timur, man, to get the job done. But I didn't really watch that much tape on the other guy, so I don't really know. But I don't think Timur is that bad. I mean, I think he's no slouch. So he's pretty small from bantamweight, but yeah, he's no slouch. So I got Timur. What about you?
He's small for bantamweight.
Actually, he was small for featherweight. He was supposed
right.
to
Yeah, I was about to say, so infinitely better matchup here for Timur Valiev. I was going to bet Jamal Emmers. I had a bet on him at plus 170 just because I'm like, okay, you're a 135 pounder. You're about to make your UFC debut on short notice here against Jamal Emmers, who, you know, he's not some kind of uber prospect, but I mean, you could tell off his fight. I mean, Jamal Emmers is a very talented guy, and he was going to be a lot bigger than Timur Valiev. I don't know why Timur took that fight. I guess it was just a short notice opportunity, but yeah, man, this is much different now. He's at his real weight class, 135 pounds. He is a very talented guy. He's super well-rounded. He's beaten good names too. You know, he has a win over Chris Gutierrez. He fought Chris Gutierrez twice. I mean, the first fight was close. And then obviously beat him in the rematch. Now, Striegel, I'm going to be honest, like, I don't think he's that bad, man. Like 18-2, you know, whatever kind of competition you talk about, like he doesn't have the best wins. Like it's definitely a lot of, you know, 6-9 or 5-0 or, you know, 35-23. Like obviously, like most of his wins are padded for sure, but you know, 18-2 is not a bad look. The guy's definitely a winner. I think he's pretty well rounded too, honestly. Like his striking's not bad, his jiu-jitsu is good. He's in serious shape too. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but like motherfucker is jacked, and he's huge for the division for sure. It's just, I think Timur Valiev is probably better everywhere here, to be honest, not even just by a little bit. I think he can take this guy down. I think he can hold him down. I think he can just outstrike him all day. So I get why the line is so big. I'm glad he's making his debut at the right weight class. I'm going to say he wins a dominant 30-27 decision.
Yeah, man. So next fight, is this the fight? Oh no, never mind. I mean, this is a good fight, but the next one I can't wait to talk about a little more. Next, this is a good fight. We got Matthew Siemensburger versus Carlton Munhoz. Who do you got in this one, man?
Yeah, man. I just I taped this one last night. Good fight, man. I'm intrigued by this one for sure. A lot of money has been coming in on the underdog. Semelsberger, he went from plus 255 to plus 105. That's really big fucking line movement right there. And I'm going to be honest, I agree with it. I think this fight is, closer to a pick'em. It's intriguing because Carlton Minus, his entire career is on the Alaska FC scene. And if you watch this guy's fights, the caliber of opponents he's fighting is really fucking bad. And the one time he fought outside of Alaska against a good caliber opponent, he was finished. Carlton Minus, on the other hand, he's definitely fought in better competition. He does have less fights though than Carlton Minus. Siemelsberger, I hate this fucking guy's name. Siemelsberger. He's a really good athlete, man. He was a high school wrestler. In college, he played football. He was a safety. And if you guys know anything about football, you got to be a fast ass dude to be a safety, a successful one too. So I definitely think this guy, even from the tape, like in the fights, I definitely think this guy is the better athlete. He's faster. He's more explosive. He hits harder. I guess, I've seen him land good takedowns in the UFC, not in the UFC. I've seen him land good takedowns in the regional scene. I have seen him get taken down too, but most of the time he gets back up, man. Like, I don't know. I kind of like him in this fight as the underdog. I don't think plus 105 is the best value anymore. I definitely think, if you took him at the previous line he was, then good on you. For me, it's a pass right now, but I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to say he gets taken down a couple times, but, he's the better conditioned athlete, in my opinion. I think he takes over in rounds 2 or 3 and gets a late TKO or a 29-28 decision. So, and this guy can just fucking crack too. But the thing is, like, Carlton Minus, I've never really seen him rocked. Like, I don't know if he can take a shot or what, but Siemelsberger can definitely crack for sure. So I'll go with him.
Yeah, this is a really interesting fight, man. I feel like this should be a pick'em, man. Munhoz is 10-1, and he has pretty good striking. He's long. He has a good chin, He's long, man. But he does get hit too, but I don't know, man. He has a good jab. I do think he's a little more technical than Siemensburger, but I do think the Siemensburger hits hard. I mean, that last finish he had was pretty nasty. He had that. I think he knocked out one of Mickey Gall's training partners because Mickey Gall was in his corner. Yeah, he hit him with the right hand and then he knocked him out with that elbow. Siemensburger is the bigger dude for sure. I mean, who has the wrestling advantage? I got to go with Siemensburger. I don't think Carlton Munhoz really has good grappling. He got taken down by that 12-4 bum on the last one seen a couple fights ago. That guy was fucking terrible. He just fucking all he did was go forward and fucking got hit. I forgot what his name was. I think it was the fight. It might have been his last fight. It might have actually been, yeah. But it's a close fight, man. I mean, it's both these guys are making their debut, so it's interesting. But for me, I'm gonna have to just sit back and watch. Betting on Siemensburger at what plus 200, whatever that was. What was it? Plus 285.
245.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty good play, but I'm gonna pass from a betting perspective because I'm gonna sit back because Munhoz can pick him apart, man. Munhoz definitely I feel like is more technical, but I'll go with Siemensburger with a decision win. Next fight, this is a really good fight. I mean, it's a fun fight. We got Jordan Wright versus Isaac Villanueva. I'll start off and say that I faded Chase Sherman last fight because I thought Chase Sherman was not UFC material. I thought that he didn't belong. I mean, he was losing fights in bare knuckle boxing, all this stuff, and then I faded him, and I mean, he looked good. Sherman legit dominated the fight, and after that fight, I really told myself, I'm like, wow, this Villanova guy sucks. He's a fucking bum. Then I watched a tape on Jorge Gonzalez, and I said, okay, Gonzalez is a fucking bum. I don't even know who I'm going to pick in this fight. Straight up, bum versus bum. Now we got Jordan Wright, and a lot of people are. I mean, you could say this guy's not that talented. I mean, yeah, he got knocked out against Fluffy. Fluffy popped it after that fight. Obviously, it was marijuana, wasn't steroids. He got caught, and Fluffy hits hard. Fluffy's been kind of a disappointment, man, his last 2 fights. But I mean, everyone takes that first L, and everyone takes that L against. I mean, there's a lot of good fighters out there that lost to shitty competition. I'm not going to say Fluffy's fucking terrible yet, but I do think that he's kind of a fraud. He lost to 2 good fighters the last 2 fights. Who did he lose to? Kevin Holland, and he lost to who's the first? Oh, Marcus Perez, whatever. But anyways, on this matchup, yeah, man, I know that Jordan Wright's gonna be the smaller guy. I know he's a middleweight. This fight's a light heavyweight, but if you watch that fight versus Gabriel Checo, I mean, that was a really good performance. I thought Wright looked really good, and I think that he has really good striking, man. He's fast. He has good hands. He has good kicks. I think Villanova has to decide down on the mat, and I don't know if he will. He is training with Ian Heinisch and guys at Extreme Couture, I believe. I saw him seen on Instagram. But that performance he had against Chase Sherman, he looked terrible, man. He looked like dog shit. He's slow. Jordan Wright has a huge speed advantage here, man. I mean, it's huge. And honestly, I'm not willing to throw down. I'm not willing to fucking say he sucks because he lost to Fluffy, man. That was his first L. I was really impressed with his last fight. And I actually think this guy can win fights, man, at 185. I think this guy has a lot of potential. He has really good striking, man. He's not chinny either. He got knocked out one fucking time. I've never seen him brought in a fight ever, besides the Fluffy knocking him out. I thought he looked good last fight, and I'm not convinced that Ike Villanova's UFC material. And I actually really do think that Jordan Wright can win fights at 185. So I'm going to go with Jordan Wright. I think he's going to knock him out pretty early, honestly, in the first round. I'm really curious to see where the line goes. But I've seen a couple people talk about this fight, and no one's talking about the speed advantage. Jordan Wright is way, way faster, man. And I feel like his striking's way better too, man. I mean, this guy has really good striking. And everyone's just talking about the Fluffy performance. They're saying, oh, he sucks. You got knocked out against Fluffy. It's his first L time, dude. I really think that this guy can win fights. So I'm going to go with Jordan Wright with the KO. I think he's going to make quick work of Villanova, and I think that he's going to legit fucking get a $50,000 bonus. And I think a lot of people are going to be talking about him after this fight. What do you got?
I'm going to disagree with you, man. I'm going to go with Ike Villanueva. I'm not proud of that because I think he is not good at all. I don't think either guy is good. Jordan Wright, man, like, you want to talk about one of the biggest padded records. Holy shit. 0-0, 0-0, 0-5, 0-0, 0-21, 0-10, 0-0, 1-2. And then he's really only had like 3 real pro fights. He subbed a 7-3 guy, but if you look into it, that guy's awful. Is the first real fucking fighter he's fought is Fluffy, and it was a murking, dude. He got destroyed really badly. It looked bad. He's real goofy in there, man. Like it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how good of a striker he really is. I know you think he's a good striker, but I will say he has power. Like, he's a powerful guy. He's a big fucking middleweight. I'll say that. It's just, at 205 here, it's kind of like, Ike Villanueva is a really bad fighter for sure. I'll agree with that. But, like, he's going to have a big, size and just overall, like, I think his power will translate more to. I think he can knock out Jordan Wright here, honestly, if he lands that one big punch. But the thing is, Justin is definitely right about the speed. Like, even though Jordan's giving up some, girth in there, as you'd say, because, he is the taller guy than Ike. It's just, Ike is much bigger, stronger. I think Jordan, he's going to be able to use some footwork and possibly pick apart Ike. But, like, I'm not just going to be surprised at all if Jordan goes in there and gets deaded, or if Ike is able to get on top. Like, if Ike gets on top of him, dude, holy shit, that's not going to be a good look, because that's a lot of weight to be on Jordan. I think he might get ground and pound TKO'd. I think it would gas him out. There's a lot of ways I could see Jordan Wright losing this fight, honestly. And then the Checo fight, yeah, that was definitely his best performance. It was actually, a real fighter. Gabriel Checo's been in there with, good guys, and he was able to – he beat the fuck out of Checo that whole fight, honestly. Like, his striking looked all right there. It definitely looked improved, and like I said, he has big power. It's just – I don't think Ike is the kind of guy to just get, fucking walloped around in there like that. Like, Chase Sherman is a real big heavyweight guy, and that was kind of like an accumulation. I don't know if Jordan Wright is going to be able to come in here and put on an accumulation of strikes on Ike. I think either he gets caught by something big or Ike eventually gets a hold of him, gets on top. I just think this fight's going to be really fucking ugly. I guess I'm interested to see what the line will be, because if either guy is like a significant dog, it could be worth looking at. But I think this fight should probably be around pick'em. I'm going to go with Ike Villanueva, though, just because, he's a real 205er. He's fought way better guys. So, yeah, ugly fight, though.
I mean, Jordan Wright 100% has the higher ceiling. I mean, he's younger. I feel like he has the way higher. He's 28 years old. This guy's young. He's undefeated. I mean, the loss that he has is guys a no contest. I mean, he doesn't train at the best camp in Jackson Week, but I mean, he's still training with fucking guys like John Jones and stuff. So I'm just impressed with this guy striking. He has a lot of wins by submission too, man. He's a finisher. So I don't know, man. I just don't think Villanova's good at all, man. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I was convinced he could beat Sherman. He couldn't even be a guy like that. So I think Wright's going to style on him, man. I'm really intrigued in this line. I really think they're going to open Jordan Wright the favorite. If they don't, I mean, that's fucking embarrassing. So the next fight, we got Dwight Grant versus Callan. Callan or Kalen?
Callan. Kalen, I don't know.
Versus Callan Bourne. I'm gonna let you go with this one.
Yeah, man, this is the last one I just taped like 45 minutes ago. Disappointed, man. I wanted to see Jared Night Train Gooden and Dwight Grant fight. I thought that was a really good one. I was gonna bet on Night Train, man. So definitely sucks, but he'll be back. Now this new guy, Kalen Bourne, holy shit. His tape was something else for sure. Yeah, I don't think this guy is good. He's a BJJ black belt. He has some really weird submissions, like back early in his pro career. He subbed some like seriously awful guys that had no idea what they were doing. And then in most recent fights, in a step up in competition against guys with, winning records, it's like, his striking is so ugly. He's not a good athlete. His wrestling is all right. His BJJ black belt definitely doesn't look like a BJJ black belt. He's an all right grappler at best. And I've seen him get wrestled before. His one loss against Austin Jones, he had literally zero answer for this guy's wrestling. And I'm like, all right, well, he's supposedly a BJJ black belt. Let's see what he can do off his back. Can he threaten some subs? It was like, I don't know. It was much of nothing. Really bad look there. And his one win against an all right guy that I've actually heard of before, Cassius Kane, it's like they even said going into that fight, Cassius Kane was the biggest betting favorite on that LFA card. He was like a minus 350, and he was looking like it at first. He looked like a much more athletic guy. He was busting him up on the feet, and then I don't know, like the pressure got to him. That's one thing I'll say. This guy, Kalen Bourne, has good pressure. He'll come forward. He'll throw his ugly ass strikes, but if you can't take getting pressured, he's going to wear on you. But I don't know, the way he just comes forward, he's really defensively flawed. I don't know if he's going to be able to take down the much stronger Dwight Grant. I think Dwight Grant is eventually going to land one of those, big kill shots. The guy has huge power. You can say what he want. He lost to Zach Otto. He had a close fight with Joe Ban. You can bring that up. That's all nice and good, but the guy can fucking crack. He's a good athlete. And he's absolutely going to take care of somebody who's as defensively flawed as Callan Bourne. I haven't seen him rocked, but that's just because of the caliber of fighters he's fighting. I mean, he's fighting a bunch of harmless dudes, and man, I don't know if it's going to cut it against Dwight Grant. So I'll go with him by knockout. I'm interested to see how big of a favorite he'll be.
Yeah, I got Grant, man. I was going to put Gordon with you. I did think that Gordon's going to win that fight. Or Gooden, I'm sorry. Sucks that the fight's not happening. But, Grant's no slouch. He has really good counter-striking. He just has low volume. He has a good chin. He can get taken down. Fucking Otto took him down. Fucking Joban took him down, which I was surprised about. Had a very close fight with Joban, but then, I rewatched it, and I did think that he beat Joban for sure. Joban was pretty pissed after the fight, but, Joban didn't really do anything, man. Grant didn't either, but Grant definitely did more, in my opinion, than Joban. It sucks with Grant because the guy's talented, man. He hits like a truck. He has low volume, so I'll go with him to win. But yeah, man, I'm not going to be betting him. I'll tell you that. Next fights, we got. Oh God, we got Maria Agapova versus Shannon Dobson. I'll go with this one really quick because I don't really have that much to say about it. I know I've talked a lot of crap to you about saying that minus 2,000. I would never parlay that, but yeah, this is a mismatch. I got Agapova by first round KO. Not much to say. John, who do you got?
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest mismatches in UFC history, guys. I mean, holy shit, Maria Agapova looked so good against Hannah Cifers. And you go, oh, that's Hannah Cifers. She's terrible. What's her UFC record? She's like, Hannah Cifers is what, like 1-4 in the UFC or some shit. I'll tell you something that Hannah Cifers has that Shayna Dobson doesn't have. That's a winning pro record. Shayna Dobson's 3-4 as a pro MMA fighter. The only reason she hasn't been cut is because Maria Agapova specifically called her out. And if you put on the kind of performance that Maria Agapova put on Hannah Cifers, the UFC is going to give you exactly what you want. That's what they did. They're setting Maria Agapova up for another highlight reel KO here. They see the potential in this girl. It's undeniable if you watch that Hannah Cifers fight, bro. I mean, the girl is jacked. Her striking looks ridiculous. Her jiu-jitsu isn't bad. She trains an American top team. I mean, honestly, I think the sky is the limit for Maria Agapova, and she will probably be ranked within, I'll say what, like 6 months. They'll probably give her like a top 20 girl after this fight, and then they'll stick her around at number 14 or 15, and then I think 2021 is going to be the breakout year for this girl. I mean, with how shallow 125 is, she's gonna earn her way up to a title shot against Valentina Shevchenko really fucking soon. I don't know if she's gonna beat her. I think there's gonna be a lot of questions answered after she beats Shayna Dobson and starts fighting top girls. And I like how I'm just talking about the career trajectory instead of breaking down this fight. But I mean, the reason I'm not really even giving you much of a breakdown here is because, I mean, it's obvious, guys. I mean, not only is Shayna Dobson really fucking bad, her striking's awful. She's been taken down before. I mean, she was finished in the first round by Roxanne Modafferi and then finished in the first round by Priscilla Cachoeira. Like, I mean, come on. She's chinny. She's awful. Maria Agapova is going to absolutely feast on this girl by whatever she wants. And, it sucks. I put Maria Agapova in a parlay with Impa Kasanganay, who was supposed to be on this card. I put 4 units on that, and then Impa gets bumped back a week. So now I'm stuck with 4 units on Agapova straight at minus 800 to profit half a unit. And then I also made another bet in this fight. I have 3 units on the under 1.5 rounds. I got that at minus 120. It's minus 160 now. Guys, I'll be fucking shocked if Shannon Dobson makes it 7.5 minutes with the scroll, unless it's like a situation where Agapova decides to just toy around with her. But I don't see that, man. This girl is fucking mean. She's vicious. She's gonna put this girl away real quick. And I think there's probably still a lot of value on the under 1.5 at minus 160. So yeah, that's probably like my favorite bet of the week is the under there. So yeah, I'm all in on Agapova, man. Not even just in this fight, as a contender.
Yeah, man. So next fight, man. This is one of the best fights of the night, in my opinion, because I have a bet on it. We have Austin Hubbard versus Joe Solecki. I got my first play of the night, man. I got 2 units on Austin Hubbard at a plus 125. I believe he's plus 115 now. I do think that he hit plus 130, maybe one. I don't know if he hit 135. I know he hit 130, but I do believe that this line is going to be kind of changing all week. I mean, I think Hubbard was the favorite at one point. Which I agree with. I do think the Hubbard's a better fighter. I was really impressed with him last fight. I know that he fought a guy that doesn't belong in UFC, but if you watch all of his UFC fights, man, I mean, the guy has potential, man. I mean, the thing with him, though, is that, okay, so he beat Kyle Prachnio. He's not UFC material. He beat Max, who I don't think is UFC material. We'll talk about Max in a little bit, though. The fight with Davi Ramos, I mean, Davi Ramos is a decent fighter, and, he could even fucking tap him out. He kept the fight on the feet, though. But then the fight versus Maxson, a good grappler. Still, Maxson got him down. Couldn't do anything with it. And then he gassed. And, I mean, Hubbard fucking in the 3rd round almost tapped him out. This is my thing in this fight. Hubbard's been tapped out once. Solecki's a black belt, but if Davy Hamos and Mark Madsen can't go out there and tap him out, I don't think this guy Solecki can either. And Solecki's talented, but he's green in my opinion. I don't think his striking is that good. I think that it's decent. He throws bombs, but I feel like Hubbard is better on the feet. Hubbard's more technical. I mean, he has a big cardio advantage here. I mean, Solecki's only been out of the okay, so Solecki's only been in a decision a couple times. He lost one of those decisions in the past, and then the last decision he went to, I think, was against Wyman, who's at the bottom of the division, might be the worst fighter in the division. And you watch that fight with Wyman, he dominated the fight. He definitely won 30-27. But you watch that last like 10 seconds of that fight, like fucking Wyman reversed him, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Like that's pretty embarrassing, dude. Getting reversed by probably the worst fighter in the division." I mean, Austin Hubbard showed really good takedown defense last fight, and good good get up game. I mean, fucking, he looked good he looked good last fight against a really good grappler. I mean, if you watch his last fight compared to a couple of fights in the past, his takedown defense looked good. I mean, he got taken down, I think, twice, but it's not like Max did anything on the mat. I mean, he posted good, he got right back up. You could tell he's been working on his takedown defense. Trains at a really good camp, trains with Gagey and Dobra every day. I think he has a really good right hand, a good jab. He's technical, man. He has good leg kicks too. His striking looked the best we've ever seen last fight, man, against Max. He styled on him. And the reason why I like this guy is because he has so much heart, dude. He has really fucking good cardio, man. And I feel like Solecki might win the first round, but after that, I think Hubbard's going to take over. And if Solecki can't get the fight down on the mat and hold him down, he's not going to win the fight. I cannot see him winning on the feet. I don't. I think he throws bombs and he has good pressure, but I mean, let's be honest, dude. Hubbard is the better striker, 100%. He's more technical. He has more weapons. Great straight left, great straight right, good pressure, good leg kick. So I feel like Solecki has to fight down the mat. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get him out of there, man. And I don't, man. I mean, Hubbard's takedown defense looked good in his grappling last fight against a guy who's not UFC material, but let's be honest, dude. Max has good grappling credentials, man. And I mean, Max could not really do anything on the mat, dude. Hubbard fucking looked good. So he's definitely been putting in the work, man, in the takedown department. So I'm gonna go with Hubbard, man. I think he's the better striker. And honestly, man, I think he's gonna knock out Solecki, man. Solecki's been knocked out before, and you've seen him hurt in a couple fights as well. And I feel like, honestly, man, I don't know if people might agree with me on this, but I feel like Solecki could fight at 45, dude. I really do, man. So I'm gonna go with Hubbard, man. I think Hubbard's a lot bigger too. I got Hubbard by I'll go the third round TKO. I think that he's gonna fucking break Joe Solecki.
Man, that's an interesting take. I'm gonna agree with you. Personally, I think Joe Solecki should be the rightful favorite here. It's just this is the kind of guy Hubbard has been losing to, bro. I mean, he gets taken down a lot. His takedown defense in the UFC is 50%. He was taken down on the regional scene quite a bit too. And Joe Solecki, although he is green, Austin Hubbard definitely has the experience advantage here. He's definitely got a cardio advantage here. I mean, Austin Hubbard is no slouch. Like, if you can't keep up with him cardio-wise, he will put it on you. He does have advantages in this fight. It's just, I don't see him being able to stuff Joe. I think Joe can take him down, and honestly, I think Joe can sub him too. Like, I know you mentioned, he didn't get subbed by Davi Hamos or Mark Madsen, but like, Davi kept that standing 90% of the time. And then Mark Madsen is, he's not a BJJ guy. He's just a wrestler. I mean, he just wanted to go out there and win rounds by any means necessary. So like, he's a guy that's going to openly go in there, take him down, look for the sub. I don't know. Maybe he could get it. Hubbard has been tapped before, although it was about 4 years ago now. So I won't completely rely on him to be able to get the sub. I think I'll definitely win that first round. Definitely. It's just, I don't know. How long is he going to be able to keep up with Austin Hubbard? I mean, it might be a lazy way to break down the fight, but I think if this fight ends up going the distance, you got to say Solecki probably is going to get the first round. And then if it happens to hit that third round, I mean, I'd be pretty surprised to see Joe Solecki win a round 3 versus a guy with as good cardio as Hubbard. So you got to think Hubbard wins that round. It'll probably end up coming down to that second round. And I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm just going to lean with Solecki just because I see him being able to be the guy who decides where this fight goes. Now, if he can't get Austin Hubbard down, I think the striking will be close. I don't think Hubbard has the kind of power to really compromise Joe Solecki, although I think he would be able to like outstrike him to win a round. It's just, I don't know. Like that 50% takedown defense is not a good look. Like he's going to get, like, even if Solecki only gets half the takedowns he shoots for, I think that's going to be enough. So I'm going to go with him. I'll say Hubbard survives, though. I'll go with Solecki 29-28, but if I don't end up betting it, I definitely wish you luck.
Thanks, man. Next fight, I'm going to take this one first as well. We got Amanda Lemos versus Mizuki Inoue. This is my next play in the night. We have 2 units on Lemos at plus 150. I believe now she's like plus 125, and a lot of money's coming on her. It's a good fight, dude. You know what, man? Amanda Lemos fought not Warren. Is it Warren? Not Warren. It's Leslie fucking Smith in her debut. Up 2 weight classes. And if you watch that fight, dude, I mean, the first round, I mean, she fucking beat her ass, man. She looked fucking good. Threw bombs, man. I mean, she definitely has good pressure and a good right hand, good striking. She even took her down. I mean, she fucking slammed her ass down, but then, I mean, she just gassed. I mean, and fucking Warren or fucking Leslie Smith just fucking took it to her. But now she's fucking dropped 2 weight classes. I believe that she should be fighting at fucking strawweight. I mean, did not belong at 135. This is a very interesting matchup, though, man. I mean, Mizuki, she's a tough girl. She's never been finished. I think that she has the better jiu-jitsu for sure. I mean, she has a good ground game. I can see her get taken down. And I feel like she's pretty small, man, for 115. And I think that Lemos could take her down. It's just Lemos needs to mind your P's and Q's. And the thing about Lemos, the only thing I'm worried about in this fight is her cardio, because I do think that Mizuki has a better cardio. But we've only seen Lemos really gas out versus Wesley, or versus fucking what the fuck is her name? I always get it mixed up.
Leslie Smith, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying Lauren Murphy. I have Lauren Murphy fucking like in my fucking mind because I should have bet her last fight versus Roxanne Modafferi. But anyways, back in this matchup. I got to go with Lemos. I think that she has the better striking. I think she has more power. I don't think Mizuki has really that good striking. I think that she's tough, Mizuki. I think she's going to be in the fight. But, damn, dude, Lemos hits harder. I think that she has a better wrestling. I think she has a good jab. I think this is Lemos' fight to win, man. Honestly, it's just – I mean, she's a lot bigger, too. A lot bigger, man. It's just – the only thing I'm worried about is the cardio and if Mizuki can tap her out. But other than that, I think that she's going to land the harder shots on the feet. I think that she's going to win the first 2 rounds. I don't think that she can go out there and finish Mizuki because Mizuki's a fucking tough son of a bitch. Would it surprise me? No. But I think that we can win the first 2 rounds, and, that 3rd round's going to be hairy because, I do think that Mizuki has a better cardio. But at 115, man, I got to go with Lemos, and I think that her cardio is going to be more improved, man. I mean, this isn't fighting at 135 in her debut against a guy that has so much fucking volume like Leslie Smith, dude. So it's not like Mizuki's going to fucking hurt her on the feet. Mizuki's striking it's not. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not fucking. She doesn't have any power, man. So I'm gonna go with Lemos. I think Lemos is gonna fucking win a decision win. What about you?
Yeah, man. I think it just shows how good this card is that I'm actually gonna disagree with you again. I think our takes on this card are very different. I'm gonna go with Mizuki Inoue by decision here. I think it's just it's definitely hard to cap though. Like I don't have a lot of confidence on it just because like. We haven't seen a lot from Amanda Lemos. Like she fought a bunch of 0-0 girls, and then she fought a 2-0 girl, got a finish, and then made her UFC debut where she looked all right in the first round against Leslie Smith. But I mean, she got absolutely, fucking destroyed, like teed off on bad. And then her, she finally comes down to the right weight class, 115 against Miranda Granger, and kind of just bullies her into a sub, but like. Let's be honest, Miranda Granger is just kind of a scrub. Mizuki Inoue is far from that, in my opinion. Damn, this girl is so experienced, bro. She's been an Invicta, forever. I mean, we're talking like well over half a decade this girl's been an Invicta. If you've never seen her fight against Alexa Grasso in 2015, that's one of the best women's MMA fights I've ever seen, man. That was a amazing war. She's been in there with Grasso. She's been in there with Karolina Kowalkiewicz back when Karolina was, undefeated in her prime. And that was a split decision too. Very, very good fight. She's even recently gone to split decision with fucking Verna Jandiroba, bro. I kind of disagree with that being a split decision though, but still Mizuki Inoue took rounds off of Verna Jandiroba. Pretty impressive. And then obviously she's won 2 since. Again, another girl who was fighting at the wrong weight class, but Hey, at least she actually won her UFC debut. It was against one of the worst 125 pounders on the roster, but hey, she came into the UFC up a weight class, I believe, short notice and got the win. Her striking's really good, bro. Like she's definitely the more technical striker. She's going to be landing more combos. Justin's right though. Lemos has a big power advantage. Her strikes are going to be a lot more damaging. And then the other worry is like Amanda's wrestling. I think she's going to just kind of be able to not bully her like Amanda Granger, but like just, she's a lot stronger than Mizuki. Let's be honest here. She should be able to get a takedown in round one. It's just when it hits that mat, though, Mizuki has the better BJJ. She's real active off her guard. Like Amanda Lemos can take her down, and that's all fun and everything, but she might be in trouble when it gets there if she's not like on her P's and Q's. So I think Mizuki's actually live for a sub. And even then, if Lemos wants to take the grappling approach, I kind of think that's going to gas her out because what we've seen from her cardio, it's not really good. And Mizuki thrives later in fights. So I think this is going to be definitely a situation where it's Lemos early, Mizuki late, kind of just like the Hubbard fight we were just talking about, man. I mean, it's just one of those weird stylistic matchups that might end up coming down to round two again. I mean, when is Lemos going to slow down? Is she going to slow down? Maybe she's worked on the cardio. I mean, there's definitely a lot of questions. We just haven't seen enough from Lemos, but I guess with the plus money you got, it's not the worst bet in the world. I mean, I'm not going to come out here and bet Mizuki at minus 140. So, yeah, I wish you luck, man. Lemos definitely has the chance to come out here and get 2 rounds of top control. So, yeah, but I'll go with Mizuki by decision.
Next fight, man, we got Daniel Rodriguez versus Takashi Sato. This is an interesting fight, man. It really is, man, because both these guys are good strikers. Sato has a really good straight left. Oh, wait. You know what? I went first the last 2 times. I don't know. I feel bad, bro. I'll just keep it. But, yeah. Sato has a good straight left, but, I mean, we've seen him struggle in the past with his chin. I think he's a little chinny. I think he can get taken down. D-Rod hits like a truck, man. I've been impressed with D-Rod, man. I do think that, I mean, in the past, we've seen him hurt to the body, but, I mean, that was a long time ago. I don't think that he's chinny or anything. I think he's a tough dude. I think he's probably one of the biggest welterweights on the roster. I like, him training with Cowboy Cerrone. I think he has really fucking good boxing. He's a black belt in BJJ. He had a really good guillotine versus Tim Means. I think he's good. I think he's well-rounded, man. I actually think that the guy's a good fighter. I think that he should be the favorite. But then again, Sato hits like a truck, and Sato hits hard, and if they're fucking swinging on the feet, man, it's going to get interesting. But I think Rodriguez is going to hurt him, and I think he'll get him down on the mat, and I think he'll tap him out. So I'm going to go D-Rod with his submission. Who do you got?
Dude, this is a great fight, man. This is easily one of probably the fight on the card I'm looking forward to the very most. Like, Takashi Sato, the way he came out there and handled that guy that took the fight on short notice last time, I mean, that was pretty impressive, man. I know you're fighting that guy was kind of not the best UFC caliber kind of guy, but Takashi Sato can crack for sure. He's a really accurate, precise, like sniper, like striker. It's just the knock on him, man, is the volume. He's a slow starter. He's chinny, like Justin said. But, man, he's fucking talented. So, like, I mean, I definitely think he could be a live dog here. Maybe, his defense will be a little cleaned up here and he's able to kind of pick apart Daniel Rodriguez and, avoid the KO blow because he's definitely going to need to do that. Daniel Rodriguez can crack. And Justin said it, man. Daniel Rodriguez, BJJ black belt, great striker. I mean, I think his win over Tim Means definitely looks a lot more impressive in hindsight after Means just went out there and beat the shit out of Laureano Staropoli. That win definitely it's a good one for him, man. And he beat the new guy Gabriel Green in his last fight, so he's looking to go 3-0 in the UFC here. I think he keeps it going, man. I'm gonna say he eventually catches Takashi Sato with something big on the feet, follows up with ground and pound, and TKOs him. So I'll go with D-Rod, round 2 TKO. Great fight.
Next fight, man. Speaking of not so great fights, we got Jobber Marcin Prachnio versus Jobber Mark Rodriguez. Kelvin, what jobber do you got?
Oh, man. Do I really have to pick one of these jobbers?
Yeah, you do. You really do.
So with Marcin Prochnio, he comes into the UFC. He was like a fucking minus 400 favorite against Sam Alvey, and I was at that fight, man. That was garbage. Like Marcin Prochnio, like there was actually a good amount of hype on him because, you know, you look at his record, he's coming out here and stopping all these guys with style, smoking them. You know, I'll say this, he's, you know, like offensively wise, he's a good striker. It's just, dude, why are you running straight into Sam Alvey with your fucking hands down? Like, oh my God, it was like literally the worst display of defense I've ever seen in my life. And then he kind of gets the shit end of the stick at his next fight. He goes from fighting Sam Alvey to Magomed Ankalaev, and Ankalaev just absolutely kills the poor guy. And then you got Mike Rodriguez on the other hand, who it looked like his career was actually going the right direction after he completely destroyed Adam Milstead, but hasn't been good since then, man. Even got smoked, finished bad in his last fight against Da-Un Jung. But if you guys have been with me for a while now, you know I'm pretty high on Da-Un Jung. I don't think that's not the worst loss in the world. I think that guy has a lot of talent for sure. So I actually think Mike Rodriguez is, you know, the more defensive, responsible fighter, although he is, I mean, it looks like he's kind of chinny at this point now. I could see Marcin Prochnio knocking him out. I mean, with this kind of shit show, low-level fight, you can't really put that past him. But I think Mike Rodriguez being the favorite here is probably accurate. I actually think he could probably grapple Prochnio as well if he really wants to. So I'll go with Mike Rodriguez. I think he has more ways to win. I think he's slightly less chinny. And I think he's more defensively responsible. So I'll say he gets a decision or a knockout.
Yeah, man. I mean, this line, man, is fucking, I don't know, man. I mean, I wouldn't want to bet Rodriguez at juice, I'll tell you that.
Of course. Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like his dog or pass, but I wouldn't fucking bet on Prachnio, man. I mean, the guy is just not talented. Yeah, man. I feel like, I don't know. This is one of those fights I want no part of. I think Rodriguez is better, but I mean, I've been so fucking like disappointed with him. I mean, we thought he was going to be fucking like a fucking prospect after he fucking beat Milstead, and then he fucking lost to that jobber, John Allen, who popped. Isn't John Allen fighting someone?
Yeah, he's fighting my boy Roman Delides.
It's fucking interesting fight right there. And then he fucking got knocked out against Jung, who, yeah, Jung is talented for sure. I don't know, man. Prachnio fucking hits like a truck, and Rodriguez, I don't think he's shitty, but I mean, he's been knocked out. Both these guys have been knocked out. I feel like Rodriguez is the better striker. He's more technical, and like you said, he can grapple. But dude, the guy's a fish out of water on the mat. So I don't know if Prachnio can grapple, but if he fucking does, I mean, dude, Rodriguez literally has no answer if he gets taken down at all. So I'm gonna go with Rodriguez with the W, but don't fucking bet him at juice because I feel like from a betting perspective, it's dog or pass. Co-main event, OSP versus Menifield. I'm gonna let you go with this one.
Yeah, man, this is an awesome co-main event. Who was OSP supposed to originally fight?
That fucking jobber that barely beat Quinton and Abreu.
Oh, Shamil Gamzatov. Yeah, and OSP was a huge underdog too.
Yo, OSP was gonna beat him, bro. I was gonna bet on him. That was a good bet for OSP.
Yeah, dude. Shamil is not. Yeah, that guy's not good. He's like what? Isn't he like 15-0 or some shit? But like,
bro, he lost to Abreu.
Oh yeah, that was a robbery, 100%. Yeah, he's 14-0. That record makes him look way better than he actually fucking is. OSP probably would have won that fight. However, this is a tough one in my opinion. With Alonzo Menifield, who, man, this guy hits fucking hard. This guy is such a great athlete. And you know what, man? I've seen a lot of negativity being thrown around because of the Devin Clark fight, but like, in hindsight, that was such a step up, in my opinion, from, Mahmoud and fucking Paul Craig. That was like a fight before Paul Craig started looking a little better too. That was not the best version of Paul Craig, and Paul Craig kind of did that to himself. He threw that shitty spin kick and got caught, but hey, props to Menifield for catching him with that shit. I mean, definitely a nice knockout for sure. I mean, the guy hits really fucking hard. He has an 8-second win on Contender Series. The first round with this guy is going to be a hell of a fucking storm. And sometimes he doesn't really take that approach. Sometimes he's a little more laid back, like the Paul Craig fight. He didn't really rush after Paul Craig. And I think that was if anything, a little good fight IQ, just because Paul Craig, like, if you're not careful with Paul Craig, I mean, how many fucking flukes has this guy Paul Craig pulled off? So, like, I can't really blame him for playing it safe there. And he does come out of a great gym, man, you know, Fortis MMA. But anyway, I'm rambling. The Devin Clark fight, a lot of people saw negatives, but, like, man, yeah, he gassed in that fight, but he still stuffed 9 out of 11 takedowns, and that was a huge step up. I think, you know, it showed a lot that he was able to keep that fight on the feet and didn't get finished. Like, I don't know. It was just first L time for the guy. And Devin Clark, say what you want about him, but he's no slouch. He's a good wrestler. He's well-conditioned. Like, that was a way harder fight than, you know, most people, including myself, made it out to be. Now with OSP, that's definitely another tough fight, man. I mean, we're talking about a guy who fought for a title against John Jones, went 25 minutes with John Jones, great wins in the division. It's just the difference between Clark fight. Devin Clark is a guy in his prime, you know, still working his way up the division, whereas Vince St. Preux, I think you got to think the guy's getting close to, you know, the end of his UFC career. I mean, what was the move up to heavyweight for one fight all about against Ben Rothwell? And, like, not only do you show that, you know, I won't say career desperation, but, like, I don't know, like, just to do that and go out and lay a fucking egg like he did look terrible against Rothwell. And yeah, you can say Rothwell's a heavyweight. He was much bigger, but fuck, man, I know plenty of light heavyweights that could go up and beat the shit out of Big Ben Rothwell. I mean, I don't know. And then the McCall-Oleksiejczuk fight, I mean, that's OSP's only win in the last 2 years is that McCall fight. And McCall beat the shit out of him for the first round, gassed out, and then OSP was able to take advantage. I mean, not only did the guy basically gas out from beating the shit out of OSP, he's a middleweight. OSP is, you know, he's a huge light heavyweight, man. And obviously the strength, the size, it was too much. He was, you know, he was able to get that choke on McCall. I mean, God, how many Von Flews does this guy have? I mean, it's so impressive. But Menifield's got to be careful not to let this fight get to the mat, because, I mean, that's OSP's best path to victory for sure. It's just, I'm going to be honest, I don't see it getting to the mat, man. I think this guy's chin is deteriorating. I think Alonzo's, you know, pressure and power is going to be too much. I think he's going to touch that chin, knock him out in the first round. If it doesn't happen to go that way, you know, I think that first round's going to take a lot out of OSP, whether he survives or not. So don't be surprised if the second round hits and, you know, Menifield's breathing hard like he normally is, and OSP is breathing hard as well. I mean, can we talk about it? OSP doesn't have the best cardio in the world either. This guy is huffing and puffing in the second round. I mean, how many times has OSP won a first round and then, you know, slowed down? I mean, you look back at the Jimmy Manuwa fight. That one sticks out for me. Looked great in the first round. Then he slowed down and he just let Jimmy Manuwa basically fucking tee off on him. I think Alonzo Menifield, even if this fight hits the second round, I think he's still going to be able to put that power and pressure on OSP. I don't know, man. The motivation doesn't really seem to be there for OSP anymore. It doesn't look quite as confident as he used to be. It's not as hungry as he used to be. He lost 3 out of his last 4. His chin's deteriorating. I think a fade on OSP here is warranted with a guy the caliber of athlete that Alonzo Menifield is, man. If OSP can come out here and prove me wrong, props to him. But I got Alonzo round 1 KO. I bet him at -128 for 3 units.
You know what, man? I'm going to go with Menifield to get the job done, but I'm going to disagree with you with a lot of stuff. I actually think that OSP could win this fight. I think that he does have the better cardio. I do agree that he does gas out, but, I mean, Menifield fucking blew the guy's he blew his wad last fight, man. And honestly, man, I'm not impressed with Devin Clark. I'm not. I mean, it was first L time, and this is a way different matchup than the Devin Clark fight, but I don't think Clark's that good, man. And Clark was fucking looking good on the feet versus Menifield as well, man. OSP's really fucking – I mean, he's smooth on the feet, dude. He has a good straight left. He has a good jab. He's technical. The thing with OSP that bothers me is that he's really inconsistent, like you mentioned. He's 2-4 in his last 6 fights. But a lot of those guys are against good fighters, man. I mean, Dominic Reyes fucking fighting for the belt. Krylov is a top 10 guy. Rothwell's a top 10 guy at heavyweight, and I mean, he should not be fighting a heavyweight. Let's be honest.
Rothwell's a top 10 guy at heavyweight?
What is he ranked right now?
He's not even on the rankings. He's terrible these days.
I think he's a top 10 guy, honestly.
What?
Top 10. I think
Name a guy in the rankings that Ben Rothwell beats.
Look him up right now and tell me. Let me look him real
Dude.
quick. Let's do this real quick. Hold on. UFC rankings.
There's no way you can call Ben Rothwell a top 10 heavyweight.
You think Menifield would go up there and fucking beat him? Be honest.
I mean, he doesn't need to go up to heavyweight and beat him. But, like, to call Ben Rothwell a top 10 heavyweight, that's no fucking way. Okay, the 10th ranked heavyweight
is Wall Harris. Yes, he would beat Wall Harris. There you go. Straight up. 100%.
Ben Rothwell would beat Wall Harris?
Yes. He would.
No, he would not.
Yes, he would. Shamil's ranked 11th. I think he beat Shamil. So there you go. Anyways, honestly, like, OSP, I actually thought won, to be honest. I thought OSP beat Rothwell. And that whole fight doesn't really mean anything. OSP had no business going up to heavyweight. Besides that, he lost to Reyes. Okay, a really good fighter. He lost to Quail, a really good fighter. He was losing the fucking OXJ second until he got the sub. He beat Tyson Pedro, who's kind of a fraud. And then he lost to fucking... Who's the other dude he lost to? He lost to Latifi, who, I mean, yeah, man, Latifi's kind of on the way out. But, I mean, you know, still... I mean, I see a lot of people saying this is easy money. And, like, I got Menifield here, man. But I wasn't impressed with his last fight. I mean, he got out bad, dude. He showed a good chin, but... Clark was fucking beating him on the feet, dude. Let's be honest, man, after that first round. I mean, OSP gasses out, man, a lot, but he's tough, dude. OSP has a lot of heart. Who's knocked out OSP? Okay, let's talk about this right now. Who?
Dominic Reyes.
That wasn't a knockout, man.
Yes, it was. It was a knockout if you watched the fight.
I mean, let's be honest, though. Dominic Reyes is the top 3 dude. Menifield is not even a top 15 guy, man. I mean, he's a good prospect. He has a good right hand. I think that definitely hurt OSP, but OSP's tough. And if this fight hits the mat, let's be honest, dude. OSP, his fucking ground game, dude, I do think the OSP can tap him out. But I don't know. It's a hairy fight for me. I wanted to bet Menifield really bad, but then when I looked more into it, I can't, man. This is a big step up for Menifield, man. He's fighting a top 15 dude. Even though OSP is inconsistent, I mean, the guy's been in there with a lot of good competition, and he went 5 rounds with fucking Jonathan Dwight Jones. So I got to go with OSP fucking making this fight a dog fight, man. And I want to fucking pick OSP, like low key. I want to, but I'm gonna.
But you know he's getting knocked out.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, OSP has a fucking good ass chin, man. I got Menifield winning. I think. You think he's fucking terrible? Chinny, he's been knocked out twice.
Yeah, but okay. If you look at the record, yeah, he's been knocked out once. But Alir Latifi fight, he got rocked and then guillotine. Dominic Reyes looks like a decision on the record, but he knocked OSP's out at the end of the fight. So don't look into that, man. OSP's been knocked out low key in the octagon 3 times.
He's tough though, man. I actually think the OSP is tough. I think it's hard to finish him, man. I really do, and I think that Menifield is going to get the job done. I don't know by what. But I'm not confident. I think OSP's live 100%. So, main event, Frankie Edgar versus Pedro Munhoz. Yeah, man, this is an interesting fight. I mean, I want to fucking go with Edgar really bad, but I can't go with him, man. I mean, he's dropping down to 135. He's chinny. He's washed up. I mean, oh, man. Technically speaking, though, like, fuck, man. Because Munhoz, man, I don't know, man. Munhoz is one of those guys where I think that he's a very tough dude. He has good boxing. He has a legit ground game. But then again, you watch this, if you tape this fight, Edgar has legit fucking boxing, man. And I feel like as long as Edgar doesn't get knocked out, he can make this fight competitive on the feet. But I just think that Munhoz is going to catch that chin because he's washed up. He's been knocked out, man, a lot recently. And I feel like all that time. And dropping to 35, man, I don't like it either. But from a stylistical matchup, Edgar can look good in this fight, man, until he gets knocked out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Munhoz with the KO. Who you got?
I'm going with Pedro Munhoz, man. It's very hard for me to pick Frankie Edgar in a fight at this point. Not only was, I mean, his career not looking well before the Korean Zombie fight, you look at the Korean Zombie fight, man, and I mean, dude, he low-key got knocked out fucking, 3-4 times in that fight? I mean, he took a lot of damage. It's really adding up. It's not looking good. Now he's dropping to 135 pounds. He's cutting more weight. I mean, of course, he was never the biggest 145-pounder to begin with, and it's so crazy that he was a 155-pound champion. But, I don't know, man. I thought he should have stayed at 145, to be honest, just because, like, if you're chinny and you're moving down a weight class, even like moving up a weight class, like, I don't know, it's sketchy, man. I think Pedro Munhoz, he's a guy that hits pretty fucking hard, in my opinion. I mean, knocked out Cody Garbrandt. I've seen him rock. He rocked Rob Font, man. Like, Pedro Munhoz is no slouch whatsoever. I'm kind of eyeing a bet in this fight. Obviously, Pedro Munhoz minus 255. That's, I won't even call that out of range. If you want to parlay Pedro Munhoz, I'm minus 255. I actually don't hate that whatsoever. However, I see some value somewhere else. Under 3.5 rounds, which kind of surprises me. I was thinking, 2.5, maybe even 1.5, just because I feel like a lot of people think Frankie just simply won't be able to take the shot there. But damn, 17.5 minutes for Pedro Munhoz to get a knockout here, or even that covers me if Frankie Edgar is able to come out here and somehow get a finish in the first 17 minutes. So minus 125 for the under 3.5 rounds. I'm kind of digging that. I think in general, this card is really good for the unders. I know I bet the Agapova one. I think the Prochnio Mike Rodriguez under 1.5 at minus 120 is a good bet too. And then, man, 3.5 rounds for Munhoz to finish, a chinny guy moving up down a weight class. I kind of like it. I'm probably going to end up betting that under, man, just because I don't see Frankie, surviving here against a guy that hits as hard as Pedro and all the red flags. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see this fight hit the mat at some point, though, just because, like, we know Edgar, he's such a great wrestler. You got Munhoz, who's such a good BJJ guy. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting if it hits the mat. I just don't see it playing out that way. I think Pedro's coming in here to take heads off, and that's exactly what he was going to do. And props to Frankie Edgar, legend, Hall of Famer, but damn, dude. I mean, I think we're getting real close to the end, and this could be the one that puts the nail in the coffin. So, yeah, might be a somber night for Frankie Edgar fans. Shout out to our boy Ricky Jitsu. He's a Frankie Edgar fan till the end for sure, but this might be a sad night for him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to bet on Edgar here, honestly, but yeah, man. Let's do a little recap on our plays. So I have 2 plays: Austin Hubbard 2 units plus 125. Fucking Lemos plus 152 units. Stay tuned to my Twitter and bet me if I bet anyone else. If I bet anyone else, it's gonna be on my boy Beverly Hills Ninja. So we'll see where the line goes on him. Kelton, you want to say your bets one more time?
Yeah, I got Maria Agapova. Sucks that the other leg of the parlay got canceled, but also got the under 1.5 rounds at that fight too at minus 120. And then I got 3 units on Alonzo Menifield minus 128. And then I'm also thinking about betting the under 3.5 in the main event, man. I think Pedro Munhoz can definitely finish Frankie Edgar in under 17.5 minutes.
Man, I see some really fucking live dogs next week. I'm looking at that card right now, and I'm seeing some live dogs that are fucking like huge dogs. And that should. So go ahead.
You see some of the odds that dropped for the September 5th card today?
No, not yet.
Oh man, we'll talk about it once we go off air. But there's a couple lines that are just like screaming at me, and I know there's one line that you're gonna see. You're gonna be like, "What? That doesn't make any sense."
Whoa, I'm looking at what? Jalen Turner is plus.
Yeah, I knew it. That's the one.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's a few more, man. There's a few more that really stick out to me.
Oh shit, Bartow's only minus 140. What? Oh, and Brian Kelleher is. Oh shit, Brian Kelleher's gonna. Whoa, okay, Brian Kelleher's gonna win that fight.
Dude, look what Kelleher opened at.
Yo, Cole Smith's gonna win. Oh my god, bro, that's a fucking good ass card.
How about that comma worthy line?
Let me look at that one real quick. Kelleher opened. Whoa. Oh shit, Kama should win that fight. Damn. Yeah, what I was gonna mention real quick is that I think you like her too, but yeah, my girl just got a fight. Sabina Mazo fighting Justine Kish. Ooh. Easy money for fucking Mazo. That's a good ass fucking matchup for Mazo.
I agree with you.
Mazo's gonna fucking fuck her. Oh man.
One thing I wanted to touch on, just because it's such a good card, Bellator on Friday. Really good card, man. Ryan Bader is defending his light heavyweight title against Vadim Nemkov, who, guys, Vadim Nemkov is one of the best fighters outside the UFC. Obviously, Ryan Bader is too. I mean, I saw articles today asking, is Ryan Bader now the best light heavyweight in the world? And shit, dude, I don't despise the argument at all. Ryan Bader is, he's got a serious record. His the list of guys he's beaten, you could go on and on. Serious dude. Roy Nelson's on the card. But the fight I want to quickly touch on, John Salter, who I've been so high on the last few years. He's fighting Andrew Capel. I bet on John Salter. I put 3 units on him at -130. He now sits at -270. And shout out to our boy Will Martin. I told him about it. He looked into it. He also bet John Salter at that line. He got like -138 or something like that. Man, he's going to grapple the shit out of this Andrew Capel guy. If you don't know Andrew Capel, he's the dude who just basically retired King Mo. He knocked out King Mo in King Mo's final fight. And I think that's what made it so close at first. People saw that first round knockout. But if you look at King Mo's record, he's been knocked out, 4 or 5 times in his last 4 or 5 fights. So, like, that's not a good win to look into. And even if you watch tape on this guy, Andrew Capel, his takedown defense and get-up game is pretty shitty. So a great grappler like John Salter is going to be able to I think he runs a show on Capel. So, yeah, I love John Salter, by the way. He has some great wins outside of the UFC.
Yeah, man. Let's touch up on our fantasy football league real quick on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't decided. Have we decided when the draft's going to be yet?
For this new league we just made? Yeah. We're trying to shoot for 7 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday.
Okay. I mean, we'll get more into that. Like, we'll put it on Twitter, obviously, tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to figure out, like, I'll get my schedule and all that for work. But, yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But, yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a free league, I assume. You're the commissioner, and we're not doing a money league, right? Just bragging rights?
Yeah, we're just doing bragging rights. We just filled it up this morning. There's some good names in there, man. We got me. We got you. We got Will Martin. We got Steve Ricciardi from the Jersey Boys podcast. Marathon MMA is out there doing his thing. A couple other guys I interact with every once in a while. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we just had our draft for our league. For my league, actually, I'm the commissioner for on Saturday. Was it on Saturday? I'm trying to remember. Or Sunday.
Sunday.
And we have a lot of UFC guys in there. We have Die Hard from there, Clint. We have fucking Notorious MMA. We got Shaq Map the Battle. We got the Jobber Guru Prediction. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of people in that league, and there's some fucking idiots in there that have some fucking terrible ass teams, bro. I'll say that right now, man. Bad teams in there, bro. Like, I'm really. Who are we missing? There's some other UFC guys that are in there. Who am I missing, right or no?
We said Guru and Clint and
Shaq.
Shaq's in there. Who the fuck else is in there? Notorious.
Kim, if you guys know Kim from MMA Twitter. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for fantasy to start. I guess that's it. Everyone else is just fucking regular people like us. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned to Twitter and see where we go when we go for next card. And please like and subscribe and comment below if you guys have any questions. And we'll be back. Kelton, you have anything you want to say?
Nah, man. Let's get out of here.
All right, guys. Peace out.